Hey everybody, it's Justin Shackle with Yankees On Demand, presented by AT&T. We are hanging out here in Yankee manager Joe Girardi's office as we look back at a successful month of August, and we look ahead to the last few weeks of this pennant race here as this team tries to make a race for the playoffs. You go 17-11 in August, and that's after you trade arguably your three best players. What's the identity of the Yankees right now, and maybe what do you think it's going to be in the near future?
Well, I think the identity is a club that never gives up. And I love that about this club. They have played hard. They played extremely hard the month of August. September has gotten off to a pretty good start, and we're playing better in our division. And it's all in front of us because we're only playing in our division except the Dodgers the rest of the way out.
There are hot starts to begin a big league career.
Yeah.
And then there's what Gary Sanchez did in his first full month here in the big leagues. Are you surprised at yourself that you're penciling a 23-year-old into the number 3 spot every day?
Well, I think we've all been amazed at what he's been able to accomplish. In the first week was kind of, base hit here, base hit it there, and then he just went on a home run tear. 2 multiple home run games. Seemed like everything he hit was a rocket. It was either a double or a homer. And I think we were in awe. And I think Mark Teixeira, said it best. They asked him, were you surprised they walked Gary to get to you? And he said, they would have walked Gary to get to Babe Ruth the way he's swinging the bat. So, it was pretty amazing.
Through a catcher's eyes, what part of his game behind the plate has impressed you the most since spring training?
I think his instincts and his ability to adapt what he sees from the pitcher that day to the hitters that he's trying to get out. Because you always have a plan, but, one day a guy may not have as good curveball, and you may have to get a guy out a different way. And I think he adapts really well.
Now, Aaron Judge got off to a big start as well, but has struggled the last few weeks. He also struggled when he was first promoted to AAA. So what makes you believe that he can adjust to Major League pitching?
Well, I think he's very coachable, number one. I think he has an idea what people are trying to do to him and the adjustments that he needs to make. And that's what this game is all about. It's about adjustments. And people are going to adjust to you, and you're going to have to make adjustments when you're 25, when you're 30, when you're 35, if you're going to be around a long time, because things change. You lose a little bit bat speed when you get older, so you have to find a different way to do it. But you become smarter, and he's going to learn. He's a bright kid that has ability that should be able to adapt.
There have been impressive wins on the road, specifically the 2 that I think of, the back-to-back extra inning wins against the Royals in Kansas City. That was a very hot team at the time. When you stop a team that is going as well as they were, what does it tell you about your own club?
Well, we have the ability to play at a really high level, and that was a club that was playing better than anyone in August. I think they had about 22 or 23 wins in the month of August, and they're the World Series champs. So, they know how to win. They know how to win, August, September, and October. So it wasn't like it was an inexperienced club. So it just shows that we have the ability to play really well.
What's it like managing a group of proven veterans as you're chasing a spot in the postseason, but while largely playing young, inexperienced players? How do you balance that?
Well, I think it's a good mix because I think our veterans are willing to share a lot of information with our young players, and the young players are bringing energy and pushing the veterans. So I think it's a really good mix, and I've always thought the best teams have a real good mix of veterans and youth because I think you need both.
What about the month of September? You have the expanded rosters, a large pitching staff, an overstocked pitching staff. How do you handle that?
Well, I think you try to use everyone and make sure that nobody gets worn down. It's something that it's really difficult on managers to try to set up matchups this time of year because there are so many players on a roster. You have pinch hitters, so you do your best. But the one thing is you want to make sure they're all strong.
At this point, the way he's been performing, Masahiro Tanaka is probably a guy that you don't have to worry too much about right now. Where do you think this team would be without him?
Well, it would be hard because he's pitched really well and he's been consistent. And there's a lot of games he could have won where we didn't score, too many runs. So really pleased with where he's at.
What do you think has brought on this different kind of battle from this line for the last few weeks and as we close out the regular season?
Well, I think the youth has helped. I think the months that Didi and Castro had in the month of August, I think really helped our club. Castro had a wonderful August. I think he had 22 RBIs or so. So, I think the influx of those guys have really helped. And I thought Sessa and Green came up and did a really good job. For 2 young pitchers with very little experience, they did a good job.
This brand of baseball has been exciting. Best of luck down the stretch, Joe.
Thank you very much.
You can see more Yankees On Demand and scoreboard content by clicking here. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel right here.